Have you ever poured your heart into something, given every ounce of yourself, spoken passionately, achieved greatly, or bent over backward to please, only to feel it wasn't enough? You chased recognition, poured out your energy, yet walked away feeling invisible, drained, and hollow, wondering why it all felt so empty. We've all been there. The modern world whispers that your worth lies in being seen, that you must constantly prove yourself or risk fading into oblivion. But here's the secret it doesn't want you to hear: true power doesn't shout. It's forged in the quiet refusal to dance to every tug on your emotions. When you stop reacting to every jab, stop chasing approval, you transform. Your presence shifts. You speak less, but your words hit harder. You become a calm force that draws people in, not because you demand attention, but because you don't need it. The Stoics mastered this. They didn't chase the spotlight, they cultivated a gravity that pulled it to them. On WisdomWavesAura, we're diving into why detachment and non-reactivity make you quietly, irresistibly magnetic. Stay with me, you might discover the strength you've been chasing has been waiting in stillness all along. Picture walking into a room and feeling an invisible pull towards someone. They're not loud, not flailing for attention, maybe just standing quietly in a corner, observing. Yet something about them holds the air still. You can't quite read them, and that mystery feels powerful. It's not charm in the usual sense, it's deeper, a quiet self-possession that makes you want to know more. In a world of constant noise, this is rare. We're surrounded by demands to react. Every phone ping, every social media post, every interaction pulls at you to prove yourself, to show more than you should. But those who resist that pull, who stay dry in the storm while others get soaked, stand out without trying. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Non-reactivity wasn't about shutting off emotions, it was about mastering them. Emotions are like weather, real, sudden, but never permanent. An untrained mind is a small boat tossed by every wave. A trained mind is a ship with a deep keel, feeling the wind but moving with purpose. Epictetus said it best: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That truth has echoed for thousands of years because we keep forgetting it. We have less control over events than we think, but far more control over ourselves than we dare believe. Imagine two people facing the same insult. One snaps back, voice rising, body tense, words flying to defend their pride. The other feels the same sting but pauses, breathes, and decides, maybe to respond calmly, maybe later, maybe not at all. Who's stronger? The first feels powerful in the moment but has handed their state to someone else. The second seems still but holds the reins of their mind. That's strength. Sometimes, it's life-saving strength. Take Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger. In 2009, piloting US Airways Flight 1549, both engines failed after takeoff. In under 4 minutes, with 155 lives at stake, panic could have taken over. Yet Sully's voice on the radio was steady, almost casual, no trace of the chaos around him. He assessed, calculated, and landed the plane on the Hudson River, saving every soul on board. People called it a miracle. Sully called it training, decades of practicing calm until it became reflex. Most of us won't face such stakes, but every day brings smaller moments where our reaction shapes the outcome: an argument with a loved one, a heated online comment, a work challenge that feels unfair. Instinct screams to fight back, but who's really in control when you do? Sometimes, the most powerful move is to do nothing, at least not right away. Holding still when provoked feels uncomfortable, like you're losing ground. But resist that urge, and something shifts. The storm passes faster when you're not in its center. You see what's really happening. Many attacks are just someone else's fears or needs projected onto you. Marcus Aurelius warned, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." If you react to every criticism, headline, or gossip, you scatter yourself. Each reaction chips away at you. But stay centered, choose your moments, and you become whole. Wholeness is magnetic in a way noise never can be. The world mistakes volume for influence, urging you to speak first and loudest. Yet the people we remember often speak least, their silence making their words heavier. Try this: next time something triggers you, a comment, a tone, a frustration, pause for 3 seconds, 3 breaths. Notice your body's urge to react, the words forming in your head. Ask, will speaking make me stronger, or scatter me? Often, saying nothing is the strongest choice. This isn't suppression, it's selection. And selection is control. The less you react, the more you see. Anger often masks fear. Excessive talking hides a hunger for validation. Provocations are rarely about you, they're about the other person's in a battle. Once you see this, you stop taking the bait. You understand rather than defend, and that understanding builds influence, not by force, but by gravity. True presence isn't about being the loudest or most charming. It's about what stays steady inside you when the world shakes. That can't be faked, it's forged in quiet moments when no one's watching, when you face your impulses and choose mastery over surrender. I once knew someone who could sit through a storm of accusations in a meeting, pulse steady, face calm. At first, I thought it was arrogance. Later, I learned he trained himself to never give his first reaction. The first thought when I'm triggered is usually wrong, he said. I wait for the second. That patience made him untouchable, you couldn't knock him off balance. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we explore how this kind of non-reactivity doesn't just protect you, it transforms you. You keep your energy for what matters, speak less but with more weight, move slower but with precision. In a world addicted to speed, that calm is irresistible. Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If you give yourself to every provocation, you belong to nothing. Guard your attention, your response. You don't owe the world an instant answer, you owe yourself the space to choose one that serves you. The pause isn't weakness, it's where your character is shaped. In that stillness, you reclaim your mind. And once you master non-reaction, your silence becomes your loudest voice. Calm minds command attention. Stillness is the rarest thing today, not wealth, not love, but the ability to stay steady amid honking horns, buzzing phones, and endless updates. Go silent online for 3 days, and people worry, as if quiet signals a problem. But silence isn't brokenness, it's proof of wholeness. In an era where emotions are engineered for engagement, staying calm is rebellion. Most people react instantly, commenting, arguing, defending. But a few move differently, letting the storm howl while they remain the calm eye. They don't rush to correct every misunderstanding or answer every challenge. That restraint, born of self-control, draws more attention than any speech. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You don't need to match pettiness, you can rise above it. That's not arrogance, it's confidence that needs no validation. Look at Keanu Reeves. He avoids pointless disputes, shuns the chase for attention, and speaks sparingly. Yet the less he says, the more people talk about him. In an industry screaming for notice, his quiet presence is unforgettable. You don't need to be a star to see this. Think of a colleague who spoke only when it mattered. When they did, the room shifted. Their words carried weight not because they were smarter, but because they understood timing. Speaking less makes every word heavier. Reacting is impulsive, responding is deliberate. Influence comes from depth, not speed. The person who stays grounded when others flail becomes trusted. Their calm soothes everyone around them. Try this: next time you're about to fire off a defensive message, wait 5 minutes, then rewrite it as if you were a calm stranger with nothing to prove. Or when insulted, look them in the eye and say nothing, not out of weakness, but because your presence speaks enough. This isn't endurance, it's a declaration of control. People notice not because you shout, but because you don't. Silence isn't absence, it's presence sharpened. Even the Bible says, even fools are thought wise if they keep silent. If a fool can seem wise by staying quiet, imagine what you, with reason and discipline, can project. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we dive deeper into these practices, showing how intentional silence can make you compelling, trusted, and quietly powerful. Letting go gives you power. We're taught our worth depends on being heard, seen, agreed with, as if we don't exist without others' validation. So we react, explain, defend, waving our arms in a dark room, hoping for light. But the Stoics generated their own light, steady and unshakable, by letting go of the need for recognition. Detachment isn't emptiness, it's freedom. It's closing the mental windows to others' opinions, keeping your inner space yours. The less you need approval, the more real your worth becomes. Seneca said, "He who needs riches least enjoys riches most." The same applies to validation. The less you crave it, the more you own yourself. Ask, if every compliment, every like vanished, would you still feel enough? If not, part of your strength lies in others' hands. David Goggins, former Navy SEAL, trained alone in the dark, no crowds, no cameras, just silence and discipline. His detachment didn't make him invisible, it made him magnetic. People were drawn to him because he needed no audience. True freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's not being forced to do what you don't. When you're untethered from others' opinions, your calm radiates. Try this, next time you're explaining to make someone comfortable, pause. Are your words necessary? If silence costs you nothing, you've protected your power. That power isn't loud, it's like gravity, invisible but undeniable. In a world where everyone reacts, stepping back makes you rare. You're the pause in a noisy song, the full stop in a long sentence. People remember not what you say, but what you don't need to. Silence disarms more than words. Ever been in a conversation where explaining made you feel less understood? The more you said, the deeper you sank into someone else's game, where winning isn't about truth but being louder, faster. In that arena, even the best voice drowns. We're taught to defend, argue, fight back, but rarely told that not reacting is greater control. Choosing silence isn't having nothing to say, it's deciding your words aren't needed yet. That silence is a counterattack no one expects. It pulls your energy from conflict, letting it collapse. Not every fight deserves your fire. Barack Obama knew this. Critics called him passive, but he spoke on his terms, frustrating opponents by giving them no easy target. Shouts into silence echo into nothing. The Stoics didn't argue to prove worth, they knew egos spark most conflicts. The bigger the ego, the easier to provoke. Silence breaks that cycle. When you don't react, you remove their leverage. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the cliff against which the waves break, it stands firm and tames the fury." True strength is refusing to be moved by what doesn't deserve your energy. Start small. When provoked, let words hang. Ask, is my response rooted in truth, or discomfort? If unsure, say nothing. One careless sentence can do more damage than 100 apologies can fix. Silence isn't a void, it's a space you command. In meetings, listen first. Let others reveal their intentions. Your well-timed words will shift the room. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we share how this restraint makes you magnetic. People are drawn to depth, not noise. Boundaries are standards, not walls. Ever met someone who says yes to everything? At first, it's polite, but soon it feels untrustworthy, their words lose weight. Now picture someone who calmly says no, without hostility or long excuses. That rare energy comes from knowing where you stand. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're about living your values, protecting your inner space. Seneca wrote, "It is in their power not to want what they don't have." Boundaries guard your peace, even if it displeases others. Serena Williams shows this. Under relentless scrutiny, she doesn't lash out or indulge in petty fights. She draws clear lines, fierce in competition yet guarding her autonomy. That's why she's admired, not just for victories, but for self-possession. In Stoicism, boundaries prove a disciplined mind. You decide what you accept before pressure hits, so you don't wrestle with every demand. Try this: when asked something, pause. Ask, If I say yes, am I honoring my values or avoiding discomfort? This question reshapes you, building freedom by choosing what to carry. Boundaries filter manipulation, create intrigue. People sense your presence isn't to be taken for granted. When you say no to the shallow, you say yes to the real. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we explore how these choices make you magnetic, not by chasing attention, but by radiating clarity. If this resonates, type inner power in the comments below Wisdom Waves Aura's video. Subscribe to keep walking this path toward unshakable self-possession. Calm isn't weakness, silence isn't absence, detachment isn't coldness, their choice is born of strength. Hold to that, and you won't chase influence or validation. The right people will find you, drawn not to your noise, but to the stillness you keep.